Hello, good morning everyone. My house is a mess right now, so just ignore that. I've decided to start a vlog. I don't know how this is gonna go because I'm incredibly busy because I work all the time. But I currently have 3 vampire books on my Kindle. And if you know me, vampires are my brand. I look like a vampire. I wish I was a vampire. My username on Twitter is Vampire Keeley. Like, people just associate vampires with me, and so this is totally on brand. And because I have 3 vampire books on my Kindle currently, I really want to film a vampire reading vlog. So this vlog will be over a span of a while because I don't know how long it'll take me to read these books. 2 of them are from the library. No, one of them's from the library, so I might lose that and then have to wait for it. You know how it works. But the one I'm currently reading is called The Vampire Wish by Michelle Maddow. It is book 1 in a series, and I just recently got Kindle Unlimited, and it was like the first one that was advertised, and I was like, vampire? Might as well. So I got it, and I'm reading it. I'm 3% in, and oh my gosh, on page like 3 or 4, already vampire action. Like, things are already going down. I don't know much about the series. So I'll just read like what Goodreads says. It says he's a vampire prince, she's a human blood slave. They should be enemies, but uniting might be their only hope to prevent a supernatural war. What? I didn't even know that because I never read the synopsis. I just like saw that it said vampires. So I'm in, I'm sold. Let's do this. Okay, and then the other book I have is Crush by Tracy. This is book 2 in the Crave series. I read Crave and I filmed a whole vlog for it over the summer, so I'll leave that down below. It's one of my favorite videos I ever did. It's about this girl whose parents die, and so she has to move from California to Alaska to go live with her cousin and uncle. Her uncle is like a headmaster of a boarding school. Little does she know, it's a supernatural boarding school. It's incredible. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to read the sequel. I've had it on my Kindle for a while, and so this will be the perfect time to read it. It's not just vampires, like there's a lot of supernatural creatures in it. This book is a little bit longer, so this one will probably take me the longest to read. I think The Vampire Wish is relatively short. Like, it's not like what I would consider a long book, so like hopefully that one goes by quickly. I don't have a lot of time to read since I moved to Korea. I read during my lunch break. My lunch break is very small. So I do that, and then I'll read on the weekends if I'm not busy or like traveling or something. And then the 3rd vampire book, so I'm going to read 3 vampire books in this vlog, is Lover Eternal by J.R. Ward. This is book 2 in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. So I read the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, or I started it this summer as well. And they're just like little mass market paperbacks. They're very like adult and smutty, so like just be aware of that. But I think each book follows a different brother and like this vampire organization they have going on. So I can't really explain what this is about because it follows someone else. But basically the Black Dagger Brotherhood is like I said, a vampire organization. And so each book follows a different romance. So that'll be interesting. The first one was enjoyable. So I'm glad that I took a break between them because I think there's like 12 or something. I'm gonna have to take a break, but now's the perfect time. Vampire reading vlog, let's go. Like I said, I'm starting The Vampire Wish. I'm like 3% in. I started it yesterday actually. So I'm gonna read more of that today as much as I can. And I guess I will update you after work. So we'll see how this vlog goes because it's probably just gonna be like a lot of after work updates. But yes, excited, let's do this. Okay, hello, update. Ignore everything, I just got out of the shower. But this vlog has changed since I first started the intro. After I started the intro, I got a book from my library, so I got a little distracted. But I finished reading the Selection series, which I will talk about in a little bit. Not about the series, but about why it's kind of ironic, coincidental. This vlog has changed. It's still vampires, but instead of reading all those 3 books, I'm going to be reading one vampire series. And that is because I am now 20% of the way through The Vampire Wish, and I'm gonna be obsessed with the series. Like, I really love it. I mean, it's not great writing. It's a super guilty pleasure read. It might be one of those like people love or hate, but I love it. Like I said, I'm only 20% of the way through, so a little background. There's 3 point of views in this story. There is Annika, and she is a human. There is Jason, he is a vampire prince, and there is Camellia, who is a witch. who works for the vampire queen. So basically Annika was taken and she lives in the Vale now, which is a vampire village, and the humans that live in the Vale are basically like blood bags. So they're kind of like vampire slaves. And Jason was turned against his will like a year ago, and now he's the prince. And this is where the selection part comes in, because at the part we just got to, the queen told Jason he has to get married. So she's bringing the other like vampire princes to the palace, and he gets to choose one of them. And they were like, we're gonna have a little competition. There's gonna be a show. We'll do interviews. And I was like, this is the selection with vampires. Like, okay. So I think in this series there's 5 books, and they're all like under 300 pages, and I'm flying through the first one already. So this vlog is just gonna be me reading the whole series. There's not gonna be spoilers. I'm just gonna talk about my feelings and vlog me reading a new vampire series and hopefully loving a new vampire series. I think this would be a cool like series, I keep saying series, to do on my channel, where I read new vampire books or new vampire trilogy series, whatever, because there's so many out there, and some of them are like underrated, like no one knows about. I have read a lot because vampires are like my thing, but I'm constantly always searching for a new vampire book, whether it's amazing or whether it's like bad writing and just like guilty pleasure. This book is on Kindle Unlimited, so the whole series is only available on Kindle Unlimited, I believe. So that's good because I just got Kindle Unlimited, and so now this is like perfect timing. But yes, I am planning on reading the series. I might take breaks in between the books, but as of right now, I'm hoping to finish The Vampire Wish, which is the first book, today. It is a Sunday, and I don't get to read much during the weeks. So like during the weekend, I like get to read the most. Like I said, I finished a book yesterday, and then today hopefully I'll finish another one, but we will see. I just wanted to tell you that I've read more. This vlog has now changed from reading 3 different vampire books to just reading one whole series and binging it. I haven't binged a series in a very long time, so this will be fun. But yes, I'm excited. Hello, it's time for an update. I'm eating a brownie that I just warmed up in the microwave. So I'm like 51% of the way through The Vampire Wish, and I definitely know like if you're not into guilty pleasures, you're not going to like this. There was definitely insta-love, and I don't mind insta-love because fully believe in insta-love, but it was like really insta-lovey in this book, so if you don't like that, you're not gonna like it. Also, one of the things is that like kind of bothered me was a character was introduced, and like his plot was just introduced, and I was like, okay, like we're gonna get to know this character, and then suddenly like they were like, and then he died. Like, I'm not gonna tell you who or anything it was, but I was like, they didn't even like go into like any detail. They were just like, and then he died. I was like, what? You literally just introduced him. But hold on. Another thing is like a lot of things keep being brought up about the history, and they're just like talking about something, and then they suddenly like have a flashback to explain that history, but it's only like a few sentences. So like the plot could definitely be fleshed out a lot more, where instead of just like having a little flashback to explain that history, like we actually like go through it and talk about it more, because it's just like it'll introduce someone, like it talked about the original vampires, and then it was like, oh, they became original vampires because they were witches and did a spell. So anyway, this is why we did it. And like it feels like that, where they're just like explaining something and then they just go, so anyway, back to what I was saying, like that type of thing, you know what I'm saying? But definitely guilty pleasure, super interested, and definitely want to continue. Like I said, 51% of the way through, so I'm hoping to finish today. I think I'm gonna have a reading date with Katie from Katie's Book Nook, so that'll be fun. But yes, I'm excited to finish. I love vampires so much. I really like Annika. She's like the typical like YA paranormal romance like main character. And then I really like Jason, who's the vampire prince, and he like does not want to be a vampire at all. So that's really interesting too. I feel like a lot of times main like vampire boys don't want to be vampires, and they think like it's the worst thing that's happened to them. Of course, it was against his will, and so like he had a lot going for him. He was going to be an Olympic swimmer. So, but yeah, interesting. I'm excited to finish, and I will let you know when I do. Hello, hi. Okay, so I just finished book 1, The Vampire Wish, and I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but the plot and like the storytelling is not fleshed out at all. I really love the world of the Vale, the kingdom all the vampires live in, but it's just like not fleshed out at all, and I would love to see more of it. And the writing also like wasn't great, so this is definitely like one of those guilty pleasure books. You're not going to go into it thinking this is going to be the best written book you've ever read. You're going into it because you want to read vampires. I mean, that's how it is. You look at the cover and you know this is going to be a guilty pleasure book. You know it's not going to be the greatest literature in the world. I don't read to read great literature anyway, but I really enjoyed it. The characters, I don't know how I feel about them yet. I really like Jason, the vampire prince, but Annika, she's like just like the typical paranormal romance lead, and so I'm waiting to see something a little different from her. So I told you like this is kind of like the selection with vampires. So we haven't seen any of the selection competition yet. It's just been mentioned. It hasn't started yet. So I think we're gonna see a lot more of that in book 2 because it's really gonna start. And the way book 1 left off, like I'm really excited to see exactly what happens because like more power has been introduced. There's a lot of different supernatural creatures in here. I mean, we only see so far vampires, werewolves, and witches. But there have been like more witches introduced and like powerful ones, less powerful ones, so it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works. There's also a witch that's kind of like a genie, so like interesting. But yes, I'm excited to start book 2. Can't remember what it's called, but I already got it from Kindle Unlimited and put it on my Kindle. I think I'm gonna read a book in between, so I will check in with you when I start that book, which will be in a few days probably. So I'm excited. I love vampires. Hello, good morning. So today is the day I am starting book 2. I think it's called The Vampire Prince. I'm really excited. I flipped through it last night, like I opened it on my Kindle last night, and the very first line of the book is the very last line of the first book. So it literally picks up right where it left off. So I'm really excited. Hopefully I can read some today, and then tomorrow is Saturday, and I'm going to Seoul, so I won't be able to read as much as I would normally do on a Saturday, but I can read on the train, which is like an hour. So on the train there and on the way back. I'm going with friends to Seoul, and one of them is getting her hair done, so I'll probably read while like I'm waiting for her, so that'll be good. But yes, I'm so excited to start this and see what happens with like the bachelor type style competition, especially with vampires. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. Hello, good morning. I just woke up and I sound like I just woke up. I look like I just woke up, but you know, I needed to update the vlog. I was too tired to do it last night. But yesterday, I finished The Vampire Prince, book 2 in the series, and I enjoyed it even more than the first one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The like selection type plot started picking up, and like we started the competition where Prince Jason like has to choose a vampire princess. And we also got 2 new point of views in this book, which really added to the story and were really interesting. I'm one of those people that loves multiple point of view stories. Some people don't, so just be aware that the first book has 3, and then now this one has, I think, 5. But the 2 new ones, there was only like 1 or 2 chapters from each of them, so it wasn't like every other chapter you had like 5 different point of views. It was every so often. I thought it was really interesting the way like the world works. Like there's shapeshifters, there's even like tiger shapeshifters, and there's different kingdoms all around the world, like vampire kingdoms, and each kingdom is run by an original vampire. And we got to learn more about those other kingdoms in this book and see how they're run, which is really fascinating. The way these books end just really make you want to keep reading the next one. Like there's something about the ending where you're just like, I have to find out what happens. But yeah, really exciting, really great. I definitely am getting selection vibes. It's not as like well written as the selection, and these books are pretty short, so like there definitely could be more to the story, but like if you're just in it for like a fun quick read, then these are definitely it. Don't read these thinking they're gonna be great literature. Like don't read it if you're a critical reader. I'm not a critical reader, and I know that if you're a critical reader, you would not like these. If you read for fun and for enjoyment, and just for the heck of it, like these are perfect, especially if you love vampires and just like paranormal romance and just guilty pleasure books, because that's essentially what these are. I really love it. I am so excited to start the 3rd one. I think there's 5 books in this series. It's either 4 and like a novella type thing or 5 and a novella type thing. So we'll see. I'm reading it all in this vlog. But yes, I'm excited. Let's do this. Vampires, I love them. Hello, I just got home from work, so I'm eating my Pringles. I finished the vampire trick today,
and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I think it was my least favorite one of the series so far. Not by a lot, like it's still like up there with the rest. The ending honestly almost made it a 4, but it was a 3 just because I feel like things, and just in this series as a whole, can go a lot deeper. Like I said, these are short books, so it definitely can be expanded a lot more. Also, there is a scene that has questionable consent, like they sleep together like as payment type of thing. That's as far as like I can go without giving spoilers, but like the consent is like questionable because we don't see like the final scene, like how it actually happens. We just know it's about to happen, and then we see the scene after the thing has happened. So I just don't even know like if the girl actually consented or like what it was, or if she did it like not against her will, but like as a payment so she could get a reward type of thing. So it was kind of weird. But also there was a big plot twist in this book, which I didn't see coming. Like I should have seen it coming, but I didn't see it coming, and I literally was in the teacher's room reading during my lunch break, and I gasped out loud, and I was like, and my coworkers were like, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, don't talk to me, I gotta finish this. Like I said, with all the other books, the endings are so good and they make you want to keep reading. It's like really intense, and the way they end is just always on like the best cliffhanger. It's not one of those cliffhangers that's like super annoying. It's like one of those that's like, I gotta keep reading, what? But yes, so like I've been doing, I read a book in between each book, so I'll do that. So I will check in with you when I read book number 4. So I was correct the first time. There are 5 books and then like a prequel type book. So I'll be reading all of them in this vlog. Hopefully this vlog isn't too long. I'm thinking of turning it into a vampire series where I just like vlog reading new vampire books or series. So let me know what you think about that. But yeah, I will see you next time I read book 4.
Hello, update. So yesterday I actually started reading book 4, The Vampire Fate, and I actually ended up finishing it. So when I started it, I was like, oh, I'm probably only gonna get like 20% through, and I'll just update the vlog tomorrow because I don't feel like updating. But I ended up finishing it yesterday, so now I'm updating. And this was definitely my least favorite book in the whole series so far. Hopefully book 5 is better. I think it was just my least favorite because even more supernatural creatures were introduced. And I feel like in a series, if you're gonna have like every kind of supernatural creature, it needs to be done really well. And in this case, it just felt really cheesy how some of them were introduced. Like we had no idea this certain creature was in the series. We had never seen it, never even heard it talked about, and suddenly it appeared, and then I don't think we'll ever see it again. So like it was done in a really cheesy way, so I didn't really like how they were just randomly throwing in every supernatural creature you've ever heard of in your entire life. There are some series that like have so many supernatural creatures, like The Mortal Instruments, and it's done so well, but this was just done in a like cheesy way, so I didn't prefer that. Also, I told you every time these books end, like the ending just like really makes you want to keep reading. But this ending, of course, it made me want to keep reading, but it also made me so mad. Like I hope things get resolved because I'm just like not okay with where things are going. So I have one more book, and then I have like I think it's like the prequel novella type thing. So like then the next book, the series should be wrapping up, and then I'll read the little short story. But yeah, hopefully things get resolved because there's still a lot going on and I'm stressed. But yeah, this was my least favorite so far, so I gave it 2 out of 5 stars just because didn't like how things were introduced. But hopefully things get wrapped up really well in the 5th book. Okay, hello. I just woke up and I haven't washed my hair in a week, so it's fine. So last night I started, or not last night, yesterday I started The Vampire War, book 5 in this series, so this is the finale. And I'm already 65% of the way through and I'm really enjoying it. So far, it might be my favorite of the whole series, so we'll see like how it ends. There's still a lot that like needs to be solved, so I'm like, how are we supposed to do that? My main complaint in this book is that, really in the whole series, is that everything happens so fast. Like all the fight scenes, the war scenes are just like so fast, like all within like a page. Like they start fighting and then the person dies. Like there's no like climax to it. It just happens and it's kind of a letdown, and they're just like, and then I stabbed him and he died. And I'm like, what? You like, y'all been fighting for a second. But yeah, they're just really quick reads. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, this one has a lot going on. So I really like it. There's a main, or not a main plot, like kind of like a side plot in this that I'm really interested how it's gonna end. I can't tell you about it because it's a spoiler for the series. But remember how I said in book 4, the way it ended, I was really angry about it. So it's that plot point. So we'll see what happens. But yes, I will update you when I finish book 5. Okay, so I've just finished The Vampire War, and I think it's tied with my favorite with the second one. So I also gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. So my highest rated book in this series was 4 stars. Overall, I had fun. I had a great time. And actually, there's like another series that follows one of the characters from this series. So I'm definitely going to be reading that one at some point. I already downloaded it onto my Kindle. The way this one ended, like, wasn't completely satisfying, but I guess that's why there's a whole nother series, because it leaves you wanting to like know what's going on. So I will be reading that series. I won't be doing a vlog on it because it's not like, I mean, there's vampires in it, so maybe I should. I don't know. There's 7 books in that series. But yes, this one was so much fun. A lot went down in this one. The plot line that I was worried about kind of got resolved, but like not completely. Like, I'm not completely satisfied with a lot of the way the things ended in this. It just wrapped up super quickly. I thought I still had like 10% left of the book, but the last 10% is like a preview of the next series. So it just ended and I was like, that's it. But yes, overall, definitely love the series. If you have a lot of reading taste like I do, where you don't mind not great writing and you just love vampires, then I recommend it. But if you read more critically and you enjoy like the best writing in the world, I wouldn't recommend it. But yes, I love vampires and I'm so excited to like start this whole series. But yes, I'm going to read the prequel one now, which follows Jason right before he got turned into a vampire, I think. And it's like 75 pages or something like that. So I should finish that later today and I will update you and then we can wrap up this vlog. Okay, so I just finished The Vampire Rule, which was the prequel. And I think I gave it like I think I'm gonna give it like a 3 stars. It really didn't add much to it. It was basically just what happened to Jason when he got turned and all that stuff, which we kind of already knew from the series, but we just got a few more details in it. But it really didn't add much to the story. It just made me hate the queen even more, but we already know she's a terrible vampire person thing. The good part in this was like we got to see a lot of like the vampire bloodlust and the repercussions of that. So that was good. But yeah, overall, I had such a fun time reading the series. If you made it this far in the vlog, leave a vampire emoji in the comments so I know you're the real one. But yes, so that is it for this video. Let me know if there's any vampire books or vampire series you would love for me to vlog. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, my social media links will be down below and I'll see you next time. Bye!